Amazon continues to add new features to their smart home products, and today I get to share with you 17 new features that you probably didn't know about and will improve the experience you're having in your home. One of the easiest features to use that's brand new is to actually turn off your smart lighting. You can do this through a simple command of turn on for X minutes.
Okay, I'll turn on the Govee night light for 10 seconds.
You don't necessarily have to spend money on sensors or anything like that if you use this kind of a command with your smart lights. It'll save you money. And that's just one of the many new features you're getting with Amazon. So let's continue with the new features you're gonna love. Hello Automators, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Brian from Automate Your Life, and my whole job on the channel is to save you time with the smart home tech in your home, and Amazon is one of the most popular systems available today. So I'm going to show you what they've added. I think given some of the layoffs at Amazon affecting the smart home team, a lot of people thought we wouldn't get many new features. That's not the case at all, but I do think we'll find Amazon return to some of the basis that made them successful as a company. If you know the story of Amazon, then you know it really started as a bookstore. And the last time I went into the Play tab in their app, I found Amazon telling me that they could have their voice assistant read my Kindle books. This was actually a feature years ago, but it slowly went away, and what was put in its place was Audible books. If you don't get this option when you head into your Play tab in Amazon's app, then head to the More page, go into Settings, and head into Accessibility, where you'll find the Kindle Assistive Reader. Once turned on, you're able to play any of your Kindle books, and you can choose which speakers to play them on.
The following morning I stood up, stretched, and looked about me.
Many of you might be noticing in that Play page that there's a few more options for music services or services in general, and we've seen this list continually grow in most countries. But the other thing you're going to notice is that there's a new method for switching whatever's playing between your different speakers. Now, once you've started music on your phone or by voice, or once you have music playing in your home in general, you can head to that Play tab in the app. You'll find that the music playing is at the bottom of the app, and you can tap into that and then tap into the little gray box sitting at the bottom of that play screen. There you will find all of your different Amazon speakers, and you're able to switch between them as you see fit. For those of you who don't know this, you can actually do this by voice. Move the music here.
Moving Amazon Music.
And this is really just the app version of that. But there's another level of great with this feature, and you're gonna find that if you're playing a Kindle book on one speaker and playing Amazon Music on another, and then playing Spotify on another. Then you'll see that you can manage all of those different streams from the app. Before I move on from entertainment, there's a difference that came in a little while ago in the app where you can actually split out what is the default music between yourself and the rest of your family. When you hit the settings icon in the play screen, you'll see this option for family and then one for your own name. So everyone can have their own preference for what's played when they ask for music to start. Now, one thing to note here is that it does require you to head into the settings and to make sure that under your profile, you've created a voice ID so Amazon can recognize you when you ask for music. And while I'm in that page, what you're probably noticing is that the profile page has had quite a revamp. Not only is there a pretty big difference in how it looks with the ability to tap on any of the other people in your home so you can adjust their nickname or the relationship you have with them. So if you're kicking your brother out of your house, well, okay. But you can also scroll down and personalize what it is you're following. This will change things on the home screen of the app and on widgets and on news on smart displays. If you hit the add following button, and you can search almost any celebrity or sports team or company or really any of the topics that you're interested in. And once you hit follow, that kind of a topic will show up in all the ways I just mentioned. You're also able to personalize the news and the calendar experience on this page, which is a nice way for Amazon to organize these pages, but they're not anything new. Speaking of pages that have been revamped, we're going to find that Amazon is going to help us more and more with routines in the coming year here. It's one of the core features of Amazon's voice assistant and their Echo speakers. You'll find the gallery has been seriously changed, and there's now a lot more organization for finding routines that are pre-created for you to just configure and then have work in your home. You should also notice that when you're creating your own routine, in some cases, Amazon is giving you an option to see example routines. If you head into the sound detection trigger, which by the way is out of beta now, you'll notice that it says see example sound routines at the top right when you're picking from the different options. This brings you back to a list of sound-based routines that Amazon has pre-created. And while there aren't a lot of these yet, I am absolutely sure that we're going to see more. It's not all just settings and profile changes that we have access to, and actually you're going to find a lot of new features with Amazon smart displays and their speakers. The first one is gestures, which have shown up on the Echo Show 8 and 10-inch smart displays. It'll only work on the second generation of Echo Show 8, but you're going to have the ability to dismiss timers by bringing your hand up in front of the display. You'll need to go into the device settings for your Echo Show, and then you'll find the menu for gestures inside of the device options. Speaking of those smart displays, the Echo Show 15 has a couple of new options on it, with what I think is one of the most exciting ones for many people showing up on the front page. Lots of us use the Smart Home Favorites widget, and you manage what's on that page by heading into the Amazon app, going into devices, and just below the main lineup of icons there, you'll find the option to add a new favorite, or if you've already done that, you can modify that list. And you can add more now because there's a larger Smart Home Favorites widget available on the Echo Show 15. It'll show more of your devices and make it a little easier to tap on the screen in order to get things done in your smart home. The other new feature was really quietly released by Amazon. A while ago, they gave us the Echo Show 15 Fire TV mode, which means nowadays you can pair a Fire TV remote with your Echo Show 15 and then use it just like a Fire TV. But if you had your Echo Show sitting in portrait orientation, many of the apps within the Fire TV experience would not play right. It was one of the reasons initially I didn't make a big deal out of this, because I knew there would be a pretty big percentage of you who had mounted your Echo Show 15 in that portrait mode. But now you can use Netflix, Hulu, Discovery, YouTube, and more in portrait mode and have it just work right on your Echo Show 15. And that list is set to improve. Now, one of the things that can be so useful in a smart home is to know when someone is in a room or in a space, and then have an automation trigger off of that. This year, I've told you guys that the occupancy sensor will really start to replace a lot of motion sensors because that's the type of sensor you've actually always been after. And Amazon gave us the occupancy sensor on many of their Echo speakers and smart displays. Problem was, it didn't work that well, and in a lot of cases it was either too delayed or it was interfered with by things around your home. So the new ultrasound motion detection features within the device settings on most of your Echo and Echo Show speakers have a new sensitivity and a new range feature that allows you to really play with those settings until you can get an occupancy routine working just right. This would allow you to turn on things when you enter into a room and then turn them off when you leave. You could always do more creative things, but I'm not that creative, so I'm going to stop there. But when you're in those settings for each of your speakers, there's a couple of new things you can adjust. The first one is within Amazon's voice. They actually have a lot of new options for the way that your voice assistant sounds. And if you love the way I sound, then you probably want to pick the Canadian one.
Moose, goose, toonie, loony.
But above all of that is the speaking rate. And while you can use the commands to speak faster or speak slower whenever you'd like, you can also set this rate right within the application to make it a default at a certain pace.
Moose, goose, toonie, loony. These are some of my favorite words with this voice.
The other new setting is something that is a bit of a trade-off. Now, that trade-off is between privacy and some of the more advanced features today. It's called Do Not Send Voice Recordings, and when you turn this off, you're going to lose a few of those features. But what happens is that no voice recordings are ever sent to Amazon from that specific speaker. So you need to set it up that way per speaker if you want to use this across your whole home. But it's a nice new option for increasing privacy. The last new feature I want to tell you about is on the devices page, where we can add a whole new type of smart home device. If you hit the plus, choose Add Device, and then scroll all the way to the bottom to Other, you will find the new Matter standard as an option. This would allow you to scan one of those brand new and very rare Matter smart home devices. You can add that to your home, but before you go doing that, I think you want to watch the video that's up on screen now, which tells you how this process works and what you can expect for right now. If you're considering purchasing a Matter device, you definitely want to watch that because it hasn't been great. Otherwise, thanks for watching today, and of course, don't hate, automate.